Hello everyone, Lunar Warfare. Welcome to my list of the top 3 assault weapons for the launch of Battlefield 5. Before we get into the list, a quick disclaimer. I have tried out every single assault gun in the game to more or less a degree, to give an accurate representation to each of them. All of them have been tried with multiple setups, but I'll only be giving my personal favorite loadouts as well as those loadouts' potential options, instead of every single possible combination for each gun. This list is subjective, and you might have your own personal favorites or disagree with my list entirely. Feel free to point those out in the comments down below and let me know what you think about my picks. Additionally, I've cut one weapon from this video's lineup due to time constraints. I don't want to make these videos go above 17-18 minutes, and as such, one of them was cut, as it is very similar to one of the other weapons on the list. If you don't agree with the choice of cutting a gun to keep the video on the shorter side and would not have a problem watching longer videos on my channel, please say so in the comments down below. I read all of them and your wishes will be heard. Now without further introductions, let's get right into it. Weapon number 1. The M1A1 Carbine. This semi-automatic SLR is unlocked at Assault level 5 and has quickly become one of the most popular weapons among Assault players. The reason for its popularity will become apparent once you take a look at the weapon's stats. It boasts the highest fire rate of any SLR in the Assault kit and the highest control stats to boot. This makes controlling the weapon, even at the really high fire rate that it possesses, very easy. There are no real downsides that can be found with the M1A1, but some might argue that the reduced damage it deals to targets compared to other semi-automatic rifles is one such downside. That argument, however, heavily discounts the fire rate of this gun. The fire rate of 450 on this semi-automatic rifle allows you to shoot as fast as you can click. Whether or not you need one additional round to kill a person at longer ranges doesn't really matter if you are shooting up to 7 to 8 rounds per second at them, with an accuracy that other weapons can only dream of. The M1A1 also has one of the best specialization trees in the entire game, with a wide range of potential gameplay altering choices, ranging from mobility improvements, high velocity bullets, recoil reductions, to an increased magazine size and a faster ADS time. This gun has something for everyone. Here's my personal favorite setup for the M1A1. I like to take the recoil buffer upgrade for the first row, lowering the vertical recoil of the M1A1 by quite a bit. For the second row, I like to go with the slings and swivels upgrade for the decreased weapon ready time after sprinting, and the option to choose the extended magazine for the third row, which increases your already quite sizable 16 round magazine to an absurd 31 rounds. For the last row, I usually prefer to go with the high velocity bullets, as the M1A1 is definitely able to hold its own against most other long range weapons, and the increased bullet velocity is going to make sure that the one additional bullet you need to land to kill your target makes it there in time. This gun is an all round beast, and these choices make sure that it's good in every gameplay situation. Alternative setups focus more on a run and gun kind of playstyle. As such, they usually include the quick aim upgrade to increase the ADSing speed by 33%. This will help in close quarter combat when quick reactions are paramount. Following that, they often go with the custom and lightened stock upgrades, to both increase the accuracy of the gun as well as increase your mobility while being ADS'd. The last row is kind of a tosser, as some players swear by the hipfire improvements, while others simply hate the hipfire in Battlefield 5 no matter what upgrades are applied to it. Feel free to choose whichever one of the two you prefer. The playstyle of the M1A1 is that of an all-rounder. Your high fire rate, if your clicking speed allows it of course, will make you competitive in CQC engagements, and your extremely high control stats will also make sure that you don't fall behind in medium to long range engagements as well. Even though you will shine most in engagements at close to medium distance, due to your very high control and fire rate, don't be scared to engage enemies at longer distances as well. Despite dropping a little bit in damage and requiring one more shot than most assault guns at that range, your fire rate can easily make up for that difference. Go ahead and just spam that left mouse button even at long distances. This gun is really accurate. Oftentimes you'll be able to counter-snipe recons or other assaults while maintaining a pretty mobile playstyle. Of course, remember to downs left and right by pressing the AD buttons to dodge the potential incoming retorts. Your gun's accuracy won't really decrease due to the movement, even at long range. This extreme versatility is one of the reasons you will see this gun quite a lot during your playtime. It's a perfect fit for nearly any situation and can be used on any of the maps in the game. It is potentially the most versatile weapon in the entire assault kit. As for optics, I'm a big fan of the 3x sight on the M1A1. It doesn't really get in the way of close to medium engagements and really helps out to land those crucial headshots at longer ranges. I usually am not a fan of larger magnifications, as you might have seen in my previous guides, and for the M1A1 it definitely is a great fit. Don't knock it till you try it. The other optics are definitely usable as well though, so play around with the different optics and decide which one's your favorite. Overall, the M1A1 is an absolute monster at the moment, and I wouldn't be surprised if it receives changes in the not so distant future. That, however, should not stop you from trying out this gun. It is an absolute treat to play with and is one of the most fun weapons to use in the entire game. The second weapon on my list is the SAPS Ladder 1916, another semi-automatic SLR, but this time it's on the complete opposite spectrum of usage cases. Unlocked at support level 16, this weapon is the long-range option for the assault kit. A lot of people try it out and dismiss it as just another semi-automatic rifle, as it shares a lot of things with the Gewehr 43 and the Turner SMLE, but personally I've come to really enjoy this weapon and its unique attributes. The SAPS Ladder comes in with a staggering 27 rounds per magazine base ammo count. There is no extended magazine option in the spec tree for this one, but I think we can all agree that it isn't really necessary. The fire rate is a low 225 base, which puts it at the bottom of all the assault guns in the game. It boasts one of the highest accuracy and control stats of any assault weapon and comes in with the highest damaging rounds the assault kit has to offer. It deals the same damage as the Gewehr 43, which means that this weapon kills with 3 shots at pretty much any range. So why exactly is it my favorite long-range option for the assault? Let's take a quick look at the upgrade tree. In the first row, we have either quick aim or faster bullets. This is usually up to preference, but for this one I would only recommend the high velocity bullets, as the quick aim perk is usually considered a close to medium range option, which this gun is not good at, even if you spec into it. As such, I always go with the faster bullets here. For the second row, you have to make a choice, as you'll be locked into your third row upgrade as well, just as we've seen previously with the M1A1. The third row upgrade, Trigger Job, on the left hand side increases the fire rate of the SAPS Ladder from its low 225 to moderate 257. While this is not a huge increase, it definitely does help to get that last hit onto a fleeing enemy, as well as bolster your incredibly poor CQC capabilities. You'll also get a slight reduction in vertical recoil as the mandatory second row choice. On the right hand side, you're greeted with more mobility based options, an increase in accuracy while moving, as well as a movement speed increase while LESing. I personally choose to go with the left hand side for that moderate increase in fire rate. I've come to really enjoy the quality of life upgrade that this provides. The right hand side is definitely a valid choice as well though. This is up to personal preference, so try them both out and make your own judgment call on this one. As for the final row, I can only really recommend the barrel bedding for both builds, as the weapon doesn't have enough of a recoil or fire rate to justify something as restricting as a bipod attachment. The playstyle of the SAPS Ladder 1916 is that of a semi-automatic sniper rifle. You are extremely deadly at medium to long range engagements. You'll be able to 3-shot every target you can find with relative ease, as the weapon doesn't kick a lot, and with a slow fire rate it forces you to make your shots count, yet still gives you enough of a wiggle room to land follow-up shots in case you do miss. Your positioning with the weapon should be more towards cover at roughly medium distance. You can win firefights in close range, of course, but you need to make sure that you land the first shot or score a headshot, and then also land all the follow-up shots quickly and accurately. I won't lie, this weapon kind of sucks in close quarter combat. But, on the flip side, this weapon is phenomenal at medium to long range. In conclusion of that, for optics, there is only really one choice, and that is the 3x medium range scope. I don't recommend any other sight on this particular weapon, as the engagement ranges are medium to long distance. You will not need a 1x or 2x scope in most situations. As previously stated, the SAPS Ladder shines in medium to long range engagements due to its hyper bullet damage, great accuracy, low recoil, and huge magazine size, and as such is best used in more open maps that will allow you to flank your opponents, if that is your playstyle, and make use of the 26 round magazine to completely annihilate enemy squads. Perfect play of 3 rounds per target, the 26 round magazine can grant you 2 entire squad wipes or 8 kills per magazine. It struggles a bit in smaller maps, but the high damage per bullet will allow you to skillfully make up for your lack of fire rate with precise shots and quick kills. It's hard for enemies to kill you at close range, if they die before they get there after all. It is a great fit for pretty much every map, but really shines in the more open maps like Twisted Steel, Narvik, and Aarhus, where you can just go ham with a huge magazine size and accurately take care of the enemy advancing team. One last tip, don't fire the gun as fast as you can. This gun's bullet velocity is high, especially with the high velocity bullets upgrade we equip in the Spectre. Make sure to aim first before you fire. It might sound like weird advice, but trust me, you'll understand when you try it out. It takes a while to get used to this, but once you do, you'll get a ton more kills. The third and last weapon on our list will probably appear on a lot of other people's lists as well. That last weapon is the M1A1 SF. Where we've just talked about the absolute long-range king of the assault kit, this is the exact opposite of that one, the close quarter king. Barely any weapon in the game can match his absolutely insane 770 fire rate, with a damage per bullet that's slightly below the M1A1 but above the STG-44 and the Sturmgewehr 1.5. This beast absolutely shreds in close range engagements. That said, there are obviously downsides associated with this gun. Firstly, its control and accuracy stats are pretty terrible. You'll need some time to get used to handling this gun. Secondly, the weapon starts with a 16-round magazine. Yeah, you heard that right. The weapon can fire for a little over 1 second before running out of ammo, so you'll need to learn how to burst properly with this weapon, as full auto is rarely advisable. So let's get into the setup. For this particular gun, I haven't seen any alternatives to the right hand side. It grants you quicker ADS time, a larger magazine, which is an increase from 16 to 21 per mag, better accuracy while moving, as well as faster moving while being ADS'd. There is nothing you don't want from this path. It's the best path available, period. You're free to try out the left hand side, which increases your hip fire capabilities, but I would advise against this. If there is anyone out there that prefers this playstyle, please reach out to me in the comments down below, because I would really be interested in having a conversation about hip firing with this gun. For choice of optics, I can only really make an argument for the 1X Nidar sight or the iron sights. This gun is primarily used in close quarter combat, and as such, any kind of magnification would hinder your ability to use the gun's strengths. It does not really bolster its weaknesses at longer ranges either. You want to stay as mobile as possible with the M1A1. If you can get into close range with someone, you're basically guaranteed to win the fight, unless the person is using a shotgun, of course. Make use of your upgraded movement speed and ADSing options and stay mobile while shooting at the enemy. As for shooting in particular, I found that about 0.2 to 0.3 second bursts are the perfect amount to kill any enemy outright. You can use this up to medium range, at which point you should start single firing the gun if you need to engage. I would recommend trying to get closer instead of trying to fire this gun at medium to long range, but if there is no other choice, try to single fire the gun or put the gun into semi-automatic mode. As previously stated, try not to full auto fire this gun. You will run out of ammo more times than you'll actually kill a person. Try to discipline yourself to do the 5 to 6 round bursts in all situations outside of melee range. This will make it possible for you to potentially get 2 to 3 kills per magazine. Oftentimes though, you'll find yourself reloading after every kill in every firefight. A note on that front, the reload time for this gun is getting reduced on December 4th, which will speed up the whole process and make this gun even better. The M1A1 is most effective in close range skirmish scenarios. As such, your favorite maps are maps that have flanking opportunities, narrow corridors with multiple access ways, as well as intertwined and cover-filled maps. Maps like Fjell, Aras, or Aerodrome work amazingly well with this gun once you're acclimated to it. A last remark, this gun is incredibly fun to use. It is among the most fun weapons in Battlefield game to date. I would recommend playing the Assault class for a while to get to try this gun out. Make sure you give it some time though, as it's a fickle mistress that will leave you hanging for a while before really pulling you in. With that, we only have some last honorable mentions before we wrap this up. The STG-44. A lot of people love this gun. Unfortunately for me, I couldn't get warm with it. I can definitely see its appeal, but it doesn't quite cover what I'm personally looking for in my weapons. You should definitely give it a try though, as it is one of the most popular weapons for a reason. The Gewehr 1.5. Originally part of this video, but cut due to time constraints. I don't really want to make these videos go above the 17 to 18 minute mark, as stated in the opening disclaimer, and this was an easy choice to cut, as it shares so many similarities with the M1A1. I'll also make an in-depth guide on this weapon in the very near future, so I hope that you'll forgive me for not including it in the list. And with those honorable mentions out of the way, we've wrapped up my list of the top 3 assault weapons in the game at release. Please share your own opinions on my list, as well as your own favorite weapons and their loadouts in the comment section down below. As always, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like or dislike button, and check me out over on twitch.tv/lunarwolf, where you can watch me record the footage for these guides and lists live, and ask any questions you might have. You can find a link to my stream down below in the description as well. Furthermore, if you guys want to see a particular guide, a specific weapon, please let me know in the comments down below as well. The next guide will probably be dealing with the Vickers K, which will be released on December 4th. With that, thanks for watching, and keep dropping those ammo pouches.